Hello and welcome to a July 20th, 2018 Delta Tau Alumni Association update. I have a lot of information to put in here, and I'm going to try to quickly but more efficiently cover all topics. The big news is that Sigma Tau Gamma headquarters right here in Indianapolis, right after they moved here from Warrensburg, Missouri, has changed leadership. Steve Latour is no longer the head of Sigma Tau Gamma. There is a leadership search, and that includes the acting leader right now. This should not scare off any potential alumni from joining. This should not worry alumni because they are in a wait-and-see mode right now. And as far as the Alumni Association, how we view it, we are just sitting back and waiting. Whenever you do have a leadership change, you know, and I know it throughout the history of organizations, there is going to be somewhat of a vision change. We don't know how big it's going to be, if it's going to be drastic. We don't know any of that. We're not worried because, of course, with the Delta Tau Alumni Association, it's Delta Tau first. And we do work with nationals, but we are still focused and committed to the Delta Tau chapter of Indiana State University. And that is our official position as the alumni board. The finance committee and the board had meetings on Tuesday and Thursday of this week. We have inched closer to what we want to do with our housing fund and how to do that. We don't have any details coming out right now. We have 4 or 5 really strong ideas that we're going to be presenting probably a lot sooner than expected with the leadership change at Nationals, because anything we do with them, we have to kind of feel them out on what they're looking at. So the finance committee and the board have decided to probably move ahead a lot faster, and those ideas will be coming out. We also celebrated. We have about 4 or 5 new members that signed up since the last video that we've done. Now with that, we have a lot more who want to commit, but they're just kind of sitting back. They want a little bit more information. We appreciate that, because if you're making a decision on how to spend your money and give to something, we want you best informed. These videos, what we put up on Facebook, are designed to do that. So we don't want you to come in hesitant. We want you to come in and say, hey, we really like what these guys are doing. A lot of giving depends on how people feel the money's being best spent. You giving to the Alumni Association gets you more involved, like we said, in voting rights. It is also part of brotherhood, part of Sigma Tau Gamma, part of what we all dreamed about back in the day when we didn't have any alumni. So just keep that in mind. And along with the giving, the board, the board is going to be setting a budget. We're going to have a detailed budget to spend, so you know how your money is going to be broken down once it comes in. So the big news also is myself and President Drake had a phone call with the chapter president of Delta Tau of the actives. His name is Simeon. It was a very 1 hour, good, productive phone call. I think it let both sides feel each other out a little bit and shows Simeon that a lot of men who are alumni now are very committed into them succeeding. Now, both sides did not make anything big as far as commitment to each other. This is going to be baby steps. This is going to be a set of milestones that they need to complete for the Alumni Association to have a small, very diligent, very socially responsible role with the active chapter. And with that, we personally gave Simeon some ideas about Rush. And something you need to understand about Rush if you've been out of school for a while. These young men face a lot of new rules that they have to follow. Back in the day, you could just go out and rush. Unfortunately, there are layers and layers of rules, so they have to take on that responsibility of knowing the rules, and we want to provide them guidance on that. It's not that we're going to go down and help them rush. One thing that came up with the rush schedule and recruitment was, how many people do they want to snag up in the fall? They have a very, very aggressive goal of wanting to get 15 new paid members. This is doable. This is doable if the Alumni Association gives positive intellectual support to them and can guide them through some speed bumps they may be facing and help them put together a rush schedule just by having phone conversations. No big meetings, nothing like that. They have produced a rush schedule, and that went out today. And they have to submit these rush schedules now to the university. So they face new rules. So starting August 29th and running through September 4th, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think on the 5th, an invite only. So they have about 8 events. They're going to be very aggressive. The week before that, when school is officially started, they will be aggressively, it's more for students to get involved in the university, and they have a lot of events that they're going to be hitting up that the university puts on that they can go out and recruit and put up a table. So they want to target 15 new brothers this fall. Now, with that, we are going to give them positive support. As the board, we're going to instruct them what they need to do as men to recruit the next legacy, the next generation. So also what we decided to do is we're probably going to put up a GoFundMe account. And this will let alumni donate $5 to $10 to help these young men in their rush events. This money will be very controlled, and they say, hey, we need forks, paper plates, and meat and hot dogs and stuff for this rush event. Hey, we like to cover some costs for, say, one of their rush events. Let me pull this back up here. One of their rush events is soccer, Thursday, August 30th. So what if some of the money put through the GoFundMe account buys Gatorade for the rush event? We will be asking for receipts. And this is one of those goals that the chapter can do to show back and forth that we want to help them, because back in the day, we did not have a lot of help. But we're also not just cutting checks to them. So I hope this better helps you understand where we're going. It's going to be a very conservative approach. It's going to have goals and expectations. But it's also going to be outreach to the chapter that the alumni would like to see, but not all the Alumni Association money is going strictly for that. So I hope with these series of videos and the updates and the throwback photos, it is making you feel more at ease about where this organization is going and what we can do down the road. I want you guys to have a great weekend. Probably post some photos from the big grill off. I'll be up there with Brother Veenstra and Brother Van Camp. And you guys have a great weekend. Thank you.